Hello everybody, it's Derek Freeze, and I apologize for the noise in here. I'm running dehumidifiers right now because it is humid. But it's October, well, now it's October 3rd because now it's 1 a.m. But around 1 a.m., I don't know what it is now since all the clocks out here refuse to work. But getting the Halloween stuff out, and I want to get a video of this thing. The, ages 3 and up, battery operated, Happy Halloweenist, lighted decoration with flashing eyes. It has a on-off switch and it includes suction cup and a cord for hanging. This is originally $2.99 at Family Dollar, and it was reduced down to an unknown price because the sticker fell apart. I really am curious what the reduced price on this was. It uses 1.5 volt battery, not included, so I got a hook cell. It has an on-off switch shown at the back of the product. Do not mix old and new batteries, which I don't know why, it only requires a singular battery. Do not mix alkaline standard carbon zinc or rechargeable nickel cadmium batteries, which once again only uses one. Has some numbers and a barcode, and it is made in China for Tony, USA, and Antonix, California, 92042, no 3107. Ouch, I'll bring this up closer if you want to see. Maybe someone can find some information from this barcode. I want to kind of know a bit more about this. I find it interesting, Tony and not Tomy. I wonder if this is a knockoff of the company Tomy. I don't know. This has a really interesting story behind it, and also a good story that kind of relates to like my childhood. I'll move this tree here so I can kind of prop this up so I can talk about this a little bit. So, I think I first remembered seeing this when I was about 3. And my grandma would display this in the window of her laundry room, or washmatory, kind of facing out towards the driveway. And I never really understand why she would actually display something in that window, because there was a large tree in front of it that would block out a lot of the view, so you couldn't really see it too well. But the backside of this thing absolutely terrified me as a kid. And now that I'm looking back at it now as an adult, it doesn't look that bad. But as a kid, I was absolutely terrified of this. And for the past, I don't even know how many years of my life, a good majority, I'd say a good, maybe not 18, a good 17 years of my life, I was absolutely terrified of this thing, and I didn't want anything to do with it. And it's such a weird thing. Back around, I'd say 2019, I started to conquer a lot of my fears, one of them being fire alarms. I bought a fire alarm to get over that fear. Automatic air fresheners, I bought one of those. I still don't like those, but I'm getting over that fear. What else? Automatic toilets. I started going to places with automatic toilets and using those. And then residential animatronics, which I bought a peppermint twist snowman, which was similar to the snow miser my uncle had. And now I collect those. Actually, this camera is being propped up with a Douglas fir singing tree, which I'm repairing for CEC Northwest Ohio. Shout out to you if you're watching this. But, yeah. And this was one of those things I still wanted to get my fear over. There might be a few more. There was a one Thomas toy that I still want to kind of mess with. I'm not nearly as scared of that, but this was something I was thinking to myself, why the hell was I scared of this? I never actually got a chance to see this thing in action, like lighting up, but I remembered, I remembered, like, so, like, my grandma would take me into the laundry room where this thing was hanging in the window, and that's where I would get my diaper changed in my early youth, and I just remembered seeing the backside of this thing as a kid, and I just thought it was super scary. And then also to go out to the garage, what you'd have to do to get to the garage was go past the washmatory to get into the garage so you could get into the car and leave. And at the time, she had a white Pontiac Montana minivan, which we'd take places and stuff. But I remember just kind of like running out towards the garage, opening the door, and then going out into the garage, trying not to look into the washmatory where this thing was installed. Another thing was, that's like a couple years after, I think it was 5 or so, and they I think my parents or something my grandparents or something finally kind of discovered that I was scared of this thing for whatever reason. And one day I was walking down, and this was when they were decorating for Halloweenus, and I just happened to look in the washmatory. My grandma was working on like a kind of like a Frankenstein type hanging vinyl figure type thing. If I can find one online, I'll insert a picture of it here so you know what I'm talking about. But it was kind of something that hung outside and would move around in the wind. But she had that there, and this was in the window, and I saw it, and like my eyes got real big or something, and she like saw me, like, or that I was scared of it, and like I went up and hid in my mom's bedroom and locked the door behind me, which I think that's kind of when they started to realize that I didn't like this thing. I know the following year my grandma, I was in the kitchen or something as they were decorating, and my grandma came in holding this and being like, "Hey, are you still scared of this?" And like, I can't remember if I said anything. I think I just looked in shock and kind of like walked away, and I think she was like thinking, okay, he's okay with this, and then proceeded to install it for that year. And then what I started doing, because I remembered the first time that she realized, and she actually like removed this and put this back, seeing it sitting in the living room like this, face down, and I kind of got an idea of what the back side of the box looked like. I didn't know what the packaging looked like for this thing at the time. And then I know that several years after that, I was like 10 or so, and that's when maybe I wasn't that old. 8 maybe? To be around 2011, between 2011 and 2014. What I would do is I would start to, when they would do the decorating, I'd make sure I'd be there and pull all the decorations out of the box, and that's when I remembered seeing this thing in the packaging like this. And when I saw that, I started to notice one weird feature about it in the packaging. That's kind of when I started to learn to read, and I remembered reading flashing eyes, but if you look closely, there's a little peephole in the center of the eye, and that just kind of made me a bit more scared of this thing. So I didn't touch it, I just continued to ignore it. Can I get the camera zoomed out more? Okay, that's good. So, yeah, and I don't remember when, but I knew at one point my grandparents, they started to tone down on the Halloween decorating, and occasionally they'd put this out, and sometimes they wouldn't. And as I got around like the 15-year mark, they put it out again, and at the time there was a lot of beef and stuff going on in the family, so I wasn't going over there as much, but I remembered seeing it in the window, and like my heart kind of stopped, and I was like, oh crap, this thing still exists. And like, I didn't see it for a number of years, so I kind of forgot of its existence, and it was just kind of, I don't know, it was weird. But I kind of got scared of it again for a bit, which is weird. I'm like 15 years old at the time. I'm old enough to get like a license permit for driving and stuff, and yeah, I'm scared of a plastic Halloween decoration, which is the most embarrassing thing ever, I'd say. And then eventually, like, I stopped going over there for a while, because once again, my life kind of got kind of big, and I started living with my mom a lot, so I wouldn't go over there for around like the October time and all of that stuff. Eventually, my grandparents, they kind of stopped decorating for Halloween, so like 2 years later, I went over there while they were away. I asked at one point in time if I could borrow some of their decorations, but they said that they didn't know or whatever, and they didn't kind of want everything moved around. So one day I was over there doing yard work, and this is after Halloween, November of last year, and I just decided to go through the Halloween stuff and dig this out, and I permanently borrowed this, and I doubt they'll remember it or think of it or have enough. Maybe at some point I'll actually ask my grandma about this thing, and ask her like where she got this from. It says Family Dollar, but I want to know the story of why she bought it. Maybe it was because the price was reduced as seen at the sticker. Maybe she got it at a garage sale for 50 cents several years later. With the build quality on this thing, I probably wouldn't pay 3 beans for it. I'd probably pay $1 most. This is like something that you would find at a Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna guess with inflation, I don't know of an actual date that this was made in. I'm gonna guess 1995. I couldn't find any dates on it. But we'll pull this out of the packaging. And the packaging kind of broke on me, so I just put some tape along the bottom to kind of repair it so I can slip it in and out for storage. And I remembered before going over to their house and digging through this at the October of last year, I went online and I tried to search for this thing. I didn't have an idea of the brand or anything. So I just said plastic illuminated jack-o'-lantern or something like that, and I'd constantly get like blow molds and stuff, and I eventually found some, I think I did illuminated jack-o'-lantern with flashing eyes, and I got some similar products, but not this, because those ones, they actually had a cover on the back and you couldn't see the wiring. But I'm going to flip this around and I'll kind of just show you what I was scared of. And this is the back side of it, which I can't get it to stand up too well. I still don't understand why this scared me. I guess so. So there is a suction cup here on the top, which is screwed in. There's the string, which will kind of move out of the way. There is these two, they're just like incandescent mini light Christmas bulbs, and for some reason I'm shivering, I don't know why. And then there is a knife switch over here that connects the battery, just exposed contacts, exposed wires, and the exposed knife switch. And this is like the cheapest design imaginable. Right here you can see on and off there, and then for, if it can show, for copyright Tony USA, made in China, which is super Chinese. You can kind of see some of the parts on the mold here. The bracket that the suction cup goes to, which has a little bit of framing around it to kind of make it a bit stable. Plastic actually feels pretty well made. It's pretty solid. It has a really nice feeling to it. Besides, like, if it didn't have this very cheesy electrical, I would say this is a pretty good quality decoration. I don't know if the mouth here is like stickers that are on. I think they are stickers and not painted on. Kind of a glow to it. It kind of reminds me of a blow mold. I'll say that. It's definitely a cool piece. It's very flat. It looks almost like a mask. When I first saw it in the box, I actually didn't know that this was the decoration. I was scared of it first. I kind of thought it was a mask, and then I thought about it a bit closer. But here is the bulbs. They're just kind of hot glued. I just popped this off. Probably first time it's been removed since like 95. But these are flasher bulbs, so when you first give them power, they stay on for a bit. I was running this earlier today, I think. Now I'm going to probably have to re-glue that or it won't stay in there. Got a Durasmell in here, which I just put in for the video, because she always used Durasmells. This battery terminal likes to fall off, and if I wanted to, I can just remove the whole system. I think this knife switch piece here slides off too. I don't know, I don't want to try breaking anything. Yeah, this piece right here probably slides off as well. I might have to put some glue on this, but there's that. I guess this thing could work as a mask. Can't really see through the eyes well enough to make it a really useful mask, but it could even show up on the camera. But yeah, I'm just gonna put this, might have to put some more hot glue on here because I don't think this will, well, now it's staying. I've also, because I want to use this on the display this year, I'm thinking of just taking some, is that like hot glue? I don't even know if they use this. Looks like shrink wrap on the bottom of the lights. I can't tell. Doubt this suction cup works too more. It's getting kind of like old and sticky like old plastic does. But, yeah. I remember pulling this out of the box today because I was going to get ready to make a video of it, and it just kind of got that weird fuzzy feeling. And I still don't understand why I didn't like this thing. It's kind of weird, like the exposed wires and stuff. Like, it looks very unfinished. It looks very homemade. Very, very cheap. So we get the cell in there so we can actually turn this on so you can see what this thing looks like. We will engage the knife switch, and when I do that, you can see that both the lights finally illuminate. You can see they're not very bright. Should be down a little bit more so the filament sticks in there, but they're already starting to flicker. I'm going to actually turn this off for a bit and get the hot glue out so I can fix that that eye. Wow, this video is already 15 minutes long. That out there. I have to unplug this. Oops, tripod kick for video. Unplug this dehumidifier quickly so I can fan kick for the video, because I just have a random fan motor on the ground. Get that heated up. While I'm waiting for that to heat up, I might have a very thin flathead. I'm going to try to remove some of that glue that's in there. Replace the glue, or at least the glue on the one side. I thought it would just kind of, well, it hits really hard. I don't know why I tried to pry it out. I want to find an older Duracell that's not completely leaked, just so I can kind of put it in here, because she always had Duracells in them. There was kind of like, I remember there was a Duracell in this as a kid, and it had like Chinese characters on it. I remembered some of those like that. And she actually, I don't know. I remembered as like a kid, I was embarrassed to be scared of this. So, obviously, because like, you don't want to be scared of a Halloween decoration. If people at school knew that about you, they'd pick on you. So, very weird. I know for a while my cousin, she'd pick on me because I was scared of the snowman. And now I have one. And I made sure when I gave her the one, because I picked up like the traditional blue vest or whatever at a thrift store. I gave it to her when she got her apartment. And I told her, hey, don't tell anyone I was scared of this as a kid. Like, I made sure. I didn't want her. This is some really good hot. What was that going on there? It's like cracking something. Yeah, I can't get that hot glue out, so I guess it's just going to stay there. And you can kind of see, like, the strings going across it here. I wonder if these weren't held in with hot glue originally. My grandma added that. I don't know. And I scratched up a little bit on the front. That sucks. It was actually in somewhat good condition. But still not warm enough. I knew after I found this, I took some pictures of it and did a reverse image search, and the only image I could find of one of these via reverse image search, and I think I also put in Tony light up jack-o'-lantern or something. Maybe I'll go online and Google that again. But I don't think anything came up when I actually said that, when I actually used that search result. But I was only able to find a listing from one of these that I believe sold on Macari in the Canada. Someone bought one of these in the Canada on Macari, and there was a sold listing. I think it was like 4 years old or something. And that was the only place I could find a picture of one of these at. And besides that, I couldn't find information about this anywhere else. So this is a pretty rare item. I'm definitely going to take care of this, at least try to. And probably pass it on to my kids and hope that they won't be scared of it if I do have kids anyway. But I'm going to put this out on a display. I already have an idea of where I'm going to hang this. Is the hot glue gun working now? Let's see, so just put a little bit there. So, should cool. Here's what the front side of it looks like, which doesn't really look that good. It looks super cheesy. You can say that it could be used to go down a little bit more, but I guess it kind of goes with the cheesiness of the product. Definitely, and oops, battery's not fully unhooked. Turn this on again. let it kind of sit here, and I'll flip it around, and I'll turn off the lights out here so you can actually see what this thing kind of looks like in the dark. It's a weird piece, I'll say that. It looks extra cheesy with the lights on, and you can kind of see it. I say it looks a bit better at night, and this battery is kind of on the urge of dying, so it doesn't really work as good as it should. Yeah, that one on the right side that I redid, I'm not too happy with how that one looks. So I'm gonna probably readjust that. Or at least, I don't even think even from like the back side it still looks a lot dimmer than the other one. Maybe it's just because of how the battery is set up in this. Oops. I think with these types of bulbs, polarity doesn't matter, so I could switch around that battery and it will still work the same. I'll get a good judgment of it after I get these lights turned on. I have to turn this one back off, this pull chain one over here. Should really consider putting this one on the switch. That'd be quite handy. So now it's going to be, now that it's inverted, it's going to be the one on the left. I'd say that one on the left is definitely a lot dimmer than the one on the right, especially when I see them both on simultaneously. I mean that they're just like bimetallic strips. The flash pattern on it's very random. You wouldn't think that it is a some sort of like programmed dingus. So, very strange. I think the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to install this. I have a place for it out here in the garage. I'm just going to put it in the garage window over there. So I'm going to stay on video while I'm installing this. And we're just going to do it, I'll probably have it hang down a little bit more. Probably like so. It still kind of moves around. Maybe I'll do it on the top upper side. I'll just remove this sign temporarily because I don't really use it all too much during this season. Radio antenna to keep the thing there, keep it from like moving around. I think that's good. I think I'll put the sign lower down, actually, the LED sign. And get some pictures of it installed. Definitely a super cheesy apparatus. Kind of like the fluorescent light, it kind of gives me that same like feeling of it, like when I was young. Turn off the lights, I guess. Oh, you can see this on the camera, but sorry, I see something down there blink. Oh, solar camera. I mean, not solar camera, the solar light charged. That's cool. I thought that thing was dead. But as you can see right there, it is. And now I can't see the switch. That light always scares me. I always forget it makes some noise, but yes, this thing actually works now. Is it working? Holy crap, I fixed it. I gotta go take that outside so I can go use it again, but yeah, that right there is working. Let's go outside and have a look at it with the lights on, and then another look at it with the lights off. I don't have the mercury vapor going tonight just because I am trying to conserve energy. I say that looks pretty good. Very over-brighted with how the lighting is in there. I think my neighbors are outside. Maybe those are squirrels fighting. I don't know. Extra cheesy. I'll say that. See how it looks from afar. A bit of a sneak peek to the indoor decorations. I'll show this off eventually. I might also get some... I want to put an electric candle in that window with some flicker flames, but I ran out of flicker flames. So if I get more flicker flames, I'm going to redo that with flicker flames. You can still actually see it blink from over here. You can't see it on the camera because how bright the lights are in the garage. So I'll have to go in there and turn these lights off so you can actually get a good look at it. I'm glad that the solar light has worked because I want to put that on the side over there by the fence because it's very dark, kind of like between the hedge and the house. And even with the mercury vapor light on, I still struggle to see over there, especially at night. Yeah, looks pretty cool. I'd say even like that, you can't really see because there's not much light there. You can't really see that it is a jack-o'-lantern, but it definitely has a very spooky look to it, I say. I know, I really like that, actually. Might make that my profile picture if I can get a good shot of it anyway. Be pretty cool. Let's go all the way back here and have a look at it from afar. Definitely like that. It's a pretty cool piece. Probably leave that on for a good bit. What I might do is if I can find like a 1.5 volt AC/DC adapter, I'll hook it up to the power lines on there, just kind of strip them and just wrap them around the bare contacts. So I can actually have that thing on a lamp timer with said flicker flame. You can see it from all the way over here, but you won't be able, like, you can't tell that it's a jack-o'-lantern because of how dark it is. If there's a bit more light out there, you probably can. I'm also thinking of putting my, last time I put the scarecrow here where I could, but the issue I had with my scarecrow was up from in my bedroom window, you could see a scarecrow out here, and I always thought it was a person, so I'd get scared that there was a person standing in my yard. So I might move the scarecrow back over in this area, because I don't really look out any of these side windows. And I don't really want to go out and see that, oh dear, there's a person standing there. But I'd also be scared if I'm walking around this corner here going out that way at night for whatever reason, and then I see the silhouette of a scarecrow and think that it's an actual person. I'd be partially terrified. I would say that anyway. Try to get a good shot of it with both the LEDs or DEL. I just call them DELs. They're freaking incandescent bulbs, and my phone battery is at 15%. Yes, I'm filming this with a phone. That's why the film quality is absolutely awful. Does it like light up the ceiling or anything in there? I don't know. Pretty cheesy little thing. You can see the dehumidifier DELs. That light on the stereo. Those squirrels are going ham. Gonna hurt themselves. I'm still having squirrel issues in the attic. October fail number 3. And it looks like the camera is still charging. You can see the status indicator is illuminated right there. The motion sensors, or PIR motion sensors over there. Probably get that mounted tonight, actually. I need the, I need the impact driver so I can mount it to the fence. Anyway, here is the vintage Tony USA illuminated jack-o'-lantern that is very crudely made, and for some reason scared 5-year-old me. I don't know why. I'll turn this off. And I think I might need that puck cell for something, because that is my last good puck cell. I have to go order more, and I don't have the 100 packs in stock right now. At least I can't find them. So hopefully in a week or so I can, because I need some for some more Halloweenist lights inside the house. And I want to make sure I have them by then, so when I do the Halloween walkthrough video soon, I actually have those for that. Tomorrow's objective is going to be getting all the Halloweenist stuff outside going, so we'll see how that goes. Thank you very much for watching this 30-minute Halloweenist video of this super cheap decoration. It doesn't deserve a video this long. Keep the breeze.